Welcome class. Take a seat. Today, I have an interesting topic for you all. We'll be talking about how to get started watching anime. So if you're on the fence about watching anime or you have a friend or family member who is, send them this video. Make sure they watch it all the way through. I think this is going to be a great resource for them. Let me preface this by saying this guide is not mandatory whatsoever. You can do whatever you want. Go on your favorite streaming service, pick a show, watch it, go to the next show, watch that. It's really whatever. I'm not some gatekeeper and there's no hard rules to this. If you're interested in the show, just go press play on it. That said, if you find that method lacking for you, or you watched your first or second anime and you don't know where to go from there, this video is for you too. Let's start with our lesson immediately. We're not going to get into the history of anime. That could easily be its own multiple hour-long video I'm dropping in August. All you need to know is anime is a medium of animation originating from Japan. That's it. I know the word anime probably has certain connotations for you if you're not too familiar with it. Maybe if you're a little older, when you hear that word, you may think of huge round eyes or really stilted English voice acting, but it's best to get rid of those ideas. Anime is any animation coming from Japan, so it can look like this, or this, or this, or it can look like something entirely different. The point of this section is to set the right expectation. Go back, let's listen to my wording. Anime is a medium, not a genre. It encompasses all genres. Do you want to watch a teen drama, basketball, golf, lifting, cooking, eating show? Anime has multiples of all of those. So it's more so about what do you want to see from anime. For those of you who want to jump in without all the soul searching and deep thinking, here's a few basic recommendations. Watch the first season of Sword Art Online, watch the first season of One Punch Man, the first season of My Hero Academia, the first season of Attack on Titan, and watch all of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I think it's appropriate if I introduce each of these shows. Sword Art Online asks the question, what would happen if you were stuck in a virtual reality video game? It asks the question, but does it answer it? Sort of. One Punch Man is set in a world of superheroes. The world is constantly ravaged by monsters, but there is one hero named Saitama and he can kill them all in one punch. My Hero Academia also takes place in a world of superheroes, but this world is considerably less dangerous thanks to the symbol of peace, All Might. He's basically like Superman. Our main character, Izuku Midoriya, strives to be just like him. Attack on Titan asks the question, if you were stuck in a world full of giant humanoid Titan monsters, how would you survive? It asks the question, does it answer it? Absolutely, and then some. Based on how the show starts, you would never guess where it ends. Full Metal Alchemist was for a long time the #1 anime on my anime list, and pretty much the consensus #1 anime in the world among fans. Usually you don't want to concern yourself with these My Anime List rankings, but it is pretty notable it was up there for such a long time. You don't need a plot synopsis, just go watch it. We're in a school setting, so think of this like a pre-test. This isn't the most diverse list of anime, they're all action shonen shows, but the shows in this list have a broad range of subgenres. For example, One Punch Man has comedy elements and Sword Art Online features romance. The purpose of this is to determine, what do you like? Do you like the action? Do you like the fight scenes? Do you like the comedy? Do you like the character designs? Do you like the world building? What do you like? Now, I don't like to focus on the negative too much, but I think it's also important to analyze, what did you not like? Do you wish the characters were deeper? Do you wish the worlds were more developed? Now, some of these shows, especially Sword Art Online, have elements of fan service. I'm going to go into it a little bit later on what that is, but how did it make you feel when you saw a scene like this? Were you uncomfortable during that? Were you neutral? Or, hey, did you like it? Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Even though you'll see the general anime audience saying they don't like fan service, I know somebody's lying, or else they wouldn't keep putting it in all of these shows. Let's expand our horizons a little bit. Let's go beyond action, and let me recommend 2 shows from pretty much every genre. Of course, these are shows that I've personally seen and can vouch for. Now, let's start with romance. O Maidens in Your Savage Season is a coming-of-age story about 5 girls going through various different situations involving romance. So some are with older partners, some are experiencing their first love, that sort of stuff. It's very cute. If you're looking to get into a romance anime that doesn't linger forever, here's a tight 12 episode great one for you. My teen romantic comedy Snafu is more of a slice of life than a romance, but I think it's still a great starter. We follow Hachiman. He's basically a loser and he gets placed into a club with two girls with differing personalities. This story does not go in the sort of direction you would expect it to. Make sure to check it out. Now, as far as comedy anime, Japanese comedy is very different from comedy in the West. As you watch more anime, that's something you'll really come to see. That doesn't necessarily make it bad. Even non-comedy anime have made me laugh at times, but it feels like there's something lost in translation a lot of times when we get the comedy anime. That said, here's the two funniest to me. Grand Blue is the quintessential comedy anime. Some of you might be trying to say something else, you might be trying to argue. No, it's Grand Blue. Grand Blue is about a guy named Iori moving to live with his uncle for college, and he gets involved in the diving team. Comedy is subjective, so this may not be hilarious to everybody, but I encourage you to give this one a shot. I highly recommend it. Psyche K is a more traditional comedy anime. It's a gag anime. So slapstick violence, extreme scenarios, but this is probably the funniest gag anime I've ever seen. I laughed out loud multiple times to this one. Now onto drama. This is personally my second favorite genre of anime, right behind action. Anime has an amazing way of building suspense, setting up characters, growing their relationships, and destroying them. Two good ones are Classroom of the Elite. It's about a boy named Ayana Koji who goes to an elite school. He wants to live a normal life, but his classmates make that impossible. Make sure to check this one out. This is a great one. The second one is Beastars. Now I know some of you are looking at the cover of Beastars and you're giving me side eyes right now, but I need you to get rid of whatever preconceived notions you're getting right now. This is probably one of the best drama anime ever. No plot synopsis, just go watch it. Next up is horror / thriller / mystery. I'm grouping these three together even though they're not exactly the same thing. These three genres have a lot of untapped potential. The horror, thriller, and mystery shows we've gotten so far are good, some are even great, but there's still a lot more that can be done. First, watch Death Note. We don't need to spend too much time talking about the plot. Even the most casual of casual anime fans knows at least a basic outline. A boy gets a notebook with the power to kill anyone. All he has to do is write their name down. Please go watch it. Next is Junji Ito Maniac, Japanese Tales of the Macabre. I would say Junji Ito is the premier horror mangaka. Hold on to that word, we're going to review that later. His works have had some adaptations in the past, but as of the making of this video, this is the best one. Finally is Slice of Life. This is probably the genre I've seen the most shows in. These stories are just so easy to pick up and just start watching. As you continue to watch these shows though, you really start to get invested in the characters. Now, Slice of Life overlaps pretty heavily with other genres, mostly romance, so don't be surprised when those sort of elements pop up in these shows. Tonikawa Over the Moon is one of those examples. Most people that watch this show would probably classify it as a romance primarily. It is a romance, and a cute one at that, but the story focuses more on their daily lives, so it is a slice of life. Where a lot of slice of life anime are episodic with very few elements carrying from episode to episode, this one is more serialized. It's one ongoing story rather than a series of little vignettes. Don't worry about the plot, just take my word and watch this one. A lot of slice of life anime are contemporary, meaning they take place in the current day. Wandering Witch Journey of Elena is a rare fantasy slice of life anime. Besides Freyrin, I'm struggling to think of another example. This follows a young witch named Elena who travels across the world, having adventures. Go watch this one. Alright, we got those recommendations out the way, so you should have a few shows to get you started no matter what you're interested in. Now, really quickly, let's go over 5 do's and don'ts regarding anime. First up, please do keep an open mind. A lot of anime fans form these weird biases. I don't know where they come from, they don't know where they come from. It's the strangest thing. For example, most anime fans just flat out refuse to watch any mech anime. Again, nobody knows where it comes from. It's not an internet trend or anything like that. They all just come to the individual decision not to watch them. Please, if you're one of those and you're watching this video, go watch Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, go watch Iron Blooded Orphans, and go watch Gurren Lagann, and tell me if you still feel the same way. I know it's hard, but please, keep an open mind to any and every type of anime. You might read the description of a show and decide you don't like it right there and then, but if you took the chance to press play and watch a few episodes, you might be hooked. Sort of in the same vein, don't form an opinion on an anime before watching the show. You can't always follow the consensus on what's good and bad, and you can't always let them decide for you. I've watched anime that I thoroughly enjoyed, then I went online only to discover everyone rated it a 5. I would recommend following the 3-episode rule. It doesn't have to be 3 episodes in one sitting, but try to watch 3 episodes of a show before dropping it. Obviously, if a show is too bad or feels painful to watch, just put it down, but I think we should give some shows some grace, allow them to set up their worlds and characters before just dropping them. Please do watch anime in whatever language you prefer. There's no correct way to watch anime as far as subs versus dubs is concerned. Just do what you prefer. For me personally, I watch almost everything in dub, but if the dub isn't out, I have no problem watching sub. Put the subtitles on while watching dub, who cares? Don't let any of the elitists tell you one way or the other. English dubs have as much heart and passion and artistry as Japanese dubs do. Here's a big one. Don't watch anime on 2x speed. For some reason, this one really bothers me a lot, maybe because I'm a creator myself. I understand a lot of us lead busy lives, we don't have all day to watch anime, especially if they're dragging on with repetitive flashbacks or long emotional scenes. I'm with you, but you are missing something essential if you skipped or speed past it. There's a story in the expressions, there's a story in the subtle movements. If you watch on 2x speed, you're missing the heart of it, you're missing something vital. You're not getting the intended experience. There are dumb, turn your brain off anime, but anime is not a dumb medium. There's a lot of subtext and a lot of double meanings you can miss if you just breeze by dialogue. Don't watch anime on 2x speed, or do it. Nobody can stop you. But if you do, don't stop to share your opinions with us at least. You're not even getting the intended experience, so whatever you're saying, it's gonna be off. It's like telling a chef his food sucks after sprinkling sand on it. It makes no sense. By the same token, I would not recommend following One Piece or any similar types of websites or whatever. I understand the allure of it, especially if you're watching older shonen anime like the big 3. Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece all have their fair share of filler, slow episodes, standing around with nothing happening, repeating flashbacks. Okay, skip the fillers, that's fine, but using One Piece to skip through One Piece, I mean, what purpose does that serve? Just to say you finished One Piece? Just to catch up to the latest arc? Just like in the show, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. You're gonna miss out on a lot of character moments and emotional beats if you just fly through. And one more don't to end it off, don't worry about demographics too much. There are 5 different demographics for anime. These demographics basically just state who the show is supposed to appeal to. There's shonen, which appeals to young boys, seinen, which appeals to older men, shoujo, which appeals to young girls, and josei, which appeals to older women. There's also kodomomuke, which appeals to kids under like 10 years old. Except for kodomomuke, the rest of these demographics pretty much don't matter. Every demographic has all genres of shows. There are action shoujo shows, there are romance shonen shows. It can be interesting to see where the show you're watching falls under, and when you get to a certain point, it's actually pretty easy to guess because these demographics do have certain tropes that go with them, but I wouldn't even think about these for the most part. Now, to end this video off, let's go over some common anime terms you'll be hearing pretty frequently, things you may not be familiar with yet. Earlier on, I talked about how almost all, I would say easily over 90% of anime is based on manga, which are Japanese comics or graphic novels. The creators of these manga are known as mangaka. Now sometimes when an anime is airing and following the manga, various things can happen. The anime can move at a quick pace and catch up to the manga if the manga is newer, or maybe the mangaka needs to take a break and the manga goes on hiatus. Or it could be a variety of other things. There's really a lot of ways that an anime can catch up to a manga. Either way, this can cause the creation of filler or filler arcs, which are episodes of the anime that do not appear in the manga and don't contribute to the main story. Now, I don't see many people talk about this. This is sort of a complicated concept and it can be hard to discern, but just because an episode takes place and it doesn't appear in the manga, that doesn't make it filler. If it doesn't appear in the manga but it moves the main story along, that means the anime may be following its own continuity, and these episodes may be anime canon. But let's not worry about that too much though, I just wanted to introduce you to that concept. Isekai is a subgenre of anime that translates to in another world. Essentially, it's any story where the main character is transported from their original world, which is usually a world like ours, into another world, which could be a past or future setting. Either way, it's all isekai. Simple, right? Unfortunately, a lot of these stories seem to fall into the same plot beats and end up being weird power fantasies full of creepy fan service. But at the same time, some of the best anime ever made are isekai. Konosuba, Re:Zero, and Eminence in the Shadow are 3 I can recommend off the top of my head, but there are dozens and dozens of other ones that are amazing. If you don't remember anything else from this video, at least remember this term. I feel like isekai is starting to fall off a little bit, but it's still one of the most popular genres. Dozens of isekai shows come out each season. Fan service are scenes in an anime that are meant to please the audience. Pretty vague, right? I mean, a good fight scene or an insightful conversation could please the audience. But when we say fan service, we usually mean beach or bathhouse episodes, basically anything that's supposed to be tantalizing. There is so much more I could go over, so many other shows I could recommend, more do's and don'ts I could give, but I think that's gonna do it for a basic overview. So go out, either watch some of the shows that I recommended or go pick some out on your own. Enjoy it, savor it. It's not an experience to rush through, just take your time with it. And if you ever need a recommendation for what to watch next, I'll be here. This has been Phanta. Watch more anime. Class is dismissed. First of all, thank you all for watching this video all the way through. If you made it this far, what other advice would you give to a new anime watcher? I also want to say thank you for all the support recently. I've gained so many subscribers, so many views on the recent videos. They're still going up and up and up. I really want to up my quality, so if you're still here, I actually want your opinion on this as well. How do you feel about me dropping maybe one video a week? 20 plus minutes, of course. We're still going to be voting on what the topic is, but I definitely want to downgrade from 2 to 1. I don't think the 2 is sustainable, really. I think I can give you something really high quality like no other anime YouTuber. And in addition to talking about anime, which is what I'm primarily going to do, I also want to talk about JRPG video games. How are we all feeling about that? I've got a lot of JRPGs want to tackle, want to talk about Final Fantasy 12, you know, a lot of stuff like that. So there's a lot in the works. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, make sure to turn notifications on, make sure to vote on the next poll so you can decide the next video topic, and again, watch more anime, read more manga.